Liz, are you ready? Thank you, Ernie. It's 6:30. We'll call Sawyer County Public Works meeting to order. Ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Ron Kinsley,
Here.
Mark Helwig,
Here.
Randy Newman,
Here.
Chuck Van Netten,
Here.
Jim Evans. You have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item is the pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Number 4, certification compliance open meeting laws.
This meeting was noticed to the media and public as required by section 19.84 of Wisconsin statutes.
Thank you. Number 5, meeting agenda. The agenda is set. Number 6, public comment. Anybody wish to speak to the committee at this time? We ask you to keep it to 3 minutes. Anybody online? No. Number 7, consider approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, which was July 9th.
So move. Second.
Motion by Mr. Newman, second by Mr. Helwig to approve as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 8, maintenance department report. Mr. Hagberg put together a report. Everybody had a chance to read it? I'm gonna share.
I'd like to add one thing. Tim is retiring. He's got about 2 weeks left, so.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, so he's been here 20-some years, hasn't he?
22 years, he told me.
Yeah. So
Man.
he'll be at the board meeting. We'll send him off next week.
So do you have?
We're getting there. We did interviews.
We interviewed yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, you've already interviewed?
Mhm. Well,
Um,
23 years now.
the work doesn't stop. We gotta keep going, so.
All right, so Mark and letter B, preliminary department budget request.
So you've got a packet that I handed out in front of you. First page is I think all of you are used to this now, the areas of focus for your departments under your jurisdiction for this committee, maintenance, airport and highway. So again, this sets the stage for the strategic plan that we will be working on and take some time to fill those out and get them back to me at your leisure. As far as the budget for the maintenance, it's very similar to last year. There are 2 changes I'll point out. A little bit of an increase, had some staff turnover, change in insurance. So there's a little bit of an increase in insurance. And then Tim did budget a little more for utilities. Those do tend to go up annually. So those are really the only changes there. Any questions on maintenance? 8.
And then
Next agenda item then.
letter C is strategic plan area of focus.
Yep, I already kind of mentioned that, just top 3, if you can come up with 3, some of the smaller departments, that's harder, but just get those to me like you've been doing. Appreciate it.
We're just gonna hand them into you.
Yep.
Is there anything else we want to add?
Is there a date we have to have those back to you?
Well, as soon as you could get them so I can start compiling.
It's Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah, next Thursday would be good. Board meeting.
I had heard of issue recently, so I don't have all the. Going in my brain, yes.
All right, number 9, resolution to approve change ownership of Hayward Aviation LLC and Reese of Todd Van Nip for the personal guarantee. Discussion, possible action. Letter A.
All right, so we've got a lot of documents before you tonight. This is what seems like a fairly simple process is pretty convoluted with all the things that are intertwined. What is going on is Mr. Leslie is wishing to buy out his partner, Todd Van Nispen, and there's a resolution in front of you to make that happen. The resolution, if you wanted to bring this forward to the board, I would make it conditional to 4 things really. There are 3 documents attached within this, 2 that are internal documents for Hayward Aviation. We wouldn't want to put forth a resolution which would also release the Van Nispens of their guarantee, personal guarantee. We don't want to do that until we know that it's all been signed over to Derek. So there are 3 documents there that are internal with Hayward Aviation that we need to make this contingent on those getting all signed and approved. And then the 4th one would be that the bank closing actually happens. Again, we don't want to release it if there's no money to do it, so under those 4 conditions. Otherwise, it's a simple, I mean, I don't want to say simple, it's complex. It's a change of ownership of Hayward Aviation. The county has a contract, an FBO agreement with Hayward Aviation. Part of that agreement states if there's a change of ownership, that does have to come through committee and board for approval. And then there's also another resolution, Resolution B, which is, again, a convoluted part of this. To make it all happen, we needed, basically, we either would have had to renegotiate the FBO agreement, which we had just signed in 2019, a 10-year agreement that has 2 5-year renewal options. What we decided to do, which made more sense, is to keep the agreement in place, add a 3rd 5-year option at the end of that, which gets the bank the time they need for the repayment of the loan.
Mr. Leslie.
This has been quite the process. Obviously, the 2 of you were involved from the beginning. For the board members who aren't aware, Todd was essentially my financial backer. My family started in '89 at the airport. I was born in '90, so I've been there my whole life. In 2018, my father unexpectedly passed, and that kind of started the process for me to purchase my mother out of the FBO. And that process took the better part of a year negotiating with county. Mark and Ron were both on the committee at that time. I wasn't able to do it at 28 years old. I wasn't able to make it happen by myself, so I had to bring on a financial partner, Todd. I think a lot was lost between now and then. Conversations we had with the administration team, with the committee, but I think it's just reflective, the promises that were made, it's reflective in the budget and the revenues for the airport that we set out to task to try to offset some of the operating expenses at the airport. And I think that those numbers speak for themselves. We've done some pretty big changes compared to what it was 6 years ago on the budget, which we're going to talk about that again later tonight. So Mr. Alvarado knew about this. I've talked with Chairman Kinsley about it, and Mike and I have worked on it extensively, probably more than Mike would have liked to have. But I would like to see the committee approve this unanimously to go to the full board, and just pledge my commitment to keep trying to do a good job at the airport.
Questions? Yes.
Question I have is, we were just, if we make a motion, we have to put a contingent on the 4 things that you
Contingent
stipulated.
on the sale of Van Nispen's 50% share to Derek. Contingent on the sale agreement between those 2 within Hayward Aviation. And then the 3rd one is the assignment of Van Nispen shares to Derek. And then the 4th piece is that the bank closes the deal, the financing of it.
So if I was to start the motion, you can end the motion by putting that.
If you would like to defer to me, I will do
Yeah,
that.
would that be okay? Sure. Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to approve, was this resolution A?
Second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Howie, second by Mr. Evans, to approve the resolution change of the Hayward Aviation, releasing Mr. Todd Van Snip from personal guarantee with all the proper steps.
Contingent upon the sale of Van Nispen's 50% share to Drake Leslie, contingent upon the sale agreement within Hayward Aviation, and contingent upon the assignment of Mr. Van Nispen's shares to Mr. Leslie and contingent on the bank closing for the
Successful.
financing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a second.
We have a motion, a second, and any discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Contingency documents.
Those are the three documents
Okay.
and then the part two there, personal guarantees. That would release Van Nispen's of their personal guarantee. Actually, I guess it's just Todd's guarantee.
Just not guarantee.
Acknowledgement of the guarantee.
Correct. Do we have to have a second motion for that? The first one, the airport management agreement, is that what it was?
Change of ownership.
Oh.
We need a motion on resolution.
On B as well.
Yeah.
So this again is extending for a third 5-year renewal of the FBO contract without any changes, no changes to terms, which is why we went this route versus renegotiating the dates.
What would that extend?
The current agreement goes to
49,
2029.
53,
No, they go to
43.
29 to 34 to 39 to 44.
Yeah.
So letter B. We need a motion for. Correct?
Correct.
Mr. Newman?
I'll make a motion that we have the resolution to do the extension on the agreement between the county and the airport. Is that would,
I guess I would make one contingency here as well, that the resolution for change of ownership goes through. So everything's
with the
intertwined.
resolution that the change ownership goes through first,
Correct.
correct?
Yep.
So we have a motion by Mr. Newman, second by Mr. Van Etten to approve the resolution of the FPO agreement to extend it up. Any other discussion?
Question. So this will go to the board to be approved with the same contingencies on it?
Yes. Yep. Hopefully by next week, we'll actually have those taken care of.
Yeah, I don't know when you're.
Yeah.
Process.
Then we would look for closing would be the Monday after our last board meeting is what we've scheduled for. So everything's, as Rebecca would say, everything has to be lockstep.
Mhm.
I would like to point out that I don't think we broke the bank on Rebecca this time either. I think we did a pretty good job
No, we did
working
pretty-
together, trying to get this hammered out because the last time was pretty rough.
We learn all the time, don't we? Okay, that takes care of number 9. Oh, thank you. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Randy. Mr. Bennett. Number 10, Sawyer County Airport Report. Mr. Leslie.
Well, now the hard part's over. Thank you. I put in my report, I said that there was something like 30 jets on one day that came in and out. That's not an exaggeration. We don't have numbers yet, but I think we've closed the gap on the revenue figures over last year, at least a little bit from being shut down for 35 days. So a lot of those numbers on the business side of things aren't going to come in until we see the full picture, the full year in review, but I'm optimistic. I would say that the airport continues to get busier. The runway project's done. It's really hard to explain exactly what that means and how much work that got put into it. The county's going to find out here, hopefully in the next month or two, how much it cost, because we're going to get a bill for, I think, among the lines of $150,000, give or
10% or 5%?
Well, 2.5% for some of it. It's 5.5% because there was still some,
Some of the board members might not know.
yeah, so the way that our projects work at the airport, every airport across the country, for the most part, they're enrolled in what's called the Airport Improvement Program, the AIP program. That's a federal program. So for the most part, any capital investments that happen at the airport as it pertains to pavements or, serious infrastructure, we get funded at a rate of 90% federal, 5% state of Wisconsin, and there's a 5% local match. So the runway project in total was over $4 million. And the Sawyer County budget, Sawyer County taxpayers had to pay roughly $150,000 for that improvement.
Thank you.
I've spent some time reviewing budget things. Is that next on the agenda is budget
Yep.
after my report? So we'll get to that. We're still waiting on the master plan. There's been a little bit renewed interest on that. I think the State Bureau of Aeronautics, they just sent out a huge email just last week. They're totally restructuring the entire department down in Madison. Pretty much from the top down. We've been having issues. I think you've heard me talk about the issues we've been having at the state and with getting some of these things like the master plan approved and getting funding in place. So it remains to be seen how the state is going to handle this transition period. But I'm optimistic that with some of the renewed interest from people locally, that we might get back on track with the master plan. And master plan discussion I'll go right into when we talk about the next agenda item on the strategic plan. We haven't talked about that much, but we're gonna need to. Any questions for me? You guys want to come out to the airport and see me? Jim's coming out. We have coffee on the pot every morning. We're busy for about another month. We hang on for about a couple, 2-3 weeks after Labor Day, and then it really starts to slow down fast.
Seeing you once a month is good enough.
Thanks, Hal. Mark.
Derek, why don't you touch a little bit on strategic planning area? A little bit, because some of the committees.
Yeah, so the 3 board members, I don't know, you guys were here for the master planning meetings and whatnot. I think that our strategic planning process, as we start moving forward with that, is going to really be entwined with some of the discussions that we have with our master plan. Now that the runway's done, our concrete, pavement, taxi lanes, tarmac, everything's in really good shape out at the airport. That's your primary focus. The most important thing is your pavements. Everything else is second. So now all of our pavements are all done. We don't have to worry about anything now except for just maintaining crack sealing. I believe we're on the statewide program for crack sealing again for next year. It's every 3 years.
So the lights reinstalled?
Yeah, so we got brand new lights. They're very expensive lights, so hopefully our snow removal team doesn't knock any of them over. But they're all LEDs. Runway turned out great. I think that the runway, from a strategic planning standpoint, I think that putting that new rehabilitated runway in kind of gives the county and everybody just time to take a breath for a minute before we plunge into what's next. We've got a safe airport now. The runway's in good condition. It's grooved. There's good lighting. So we're in good shape for today. As far as planning for the future. The board members that were here for the master plan, we may have an uphill battle with some things in that process, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know how else to put it. One of the other things that's come to our attention too is trying to figure out a plan for the terminal building. It's 53 or 54 years old. We've identified some issues that we're talking about with some of our funding to keep the terminal building going for a little while yet. But I think when we start talking about master plan, strategic planning for the airport, we really should start considering, using the federal funding and looking at a new terminal building facility, maybe 10 years down the road. It might take that long in planning to do it. We might need help from some of our community partners because the state only pays for so much when it comes to finishings, and I would assume that we'd like to have a terminal building that speaks to the community and the area that we serve. Looks nice. It looks nice on the inside. Terminal building looks great. The outside is kind of where we're having an issue now, and Tim has been working on it. Sounds like Tim's gonna get us some information before he heads out, for some estimates, for some improvements and some plans to keep us through the next 5 to 10 years plan. Did I misspeak at all?
No, I'll just add that through this repaving process, we were able to get salvage value for the pavement that they pulled up of about 60,000. So what Tim has been working on with Derek is prioritizing some of the needs in the terminal building itself to use that money for that.
Mr. Evans.
Just a quick question, and I'll get the details when I come out and see you, but what's the difference between the master and the strategic plans?
The strategic plan is just a county process. The master plan is something that's required as long as you're taking federal funding. The master plan is required for municipalities, county governments like us to undertake master plans to identify areas of concern, to identify what's coming. The big one obviously for us is that master plan identified that our airport's not built to the standards that it needs to be to accommodate what's coming in and out of here. The risks being, obviously there are safety reasons for that based upon performance data on the aircraft. But I think one of the risks is if you don't address it, the federal government's not going to continue funding until you fix it. That's many years down the road. And I don't know if it's ever actually happened because for the most part, the federal government works with the state government, state works with county to try to address those problems and come up with a plan and a master plan.
That's a 10-year plan, isn't it?
Or 20. Our last master plan was 96. Went 96 to now, essentially, was our last master plan. And eerily, the last master plan that we did didn't look that much different than what we put together this time. I mean, a lot of the maps, a lot of the trajectories for use of the airport, even in 96, I think they kind of identified then the improvements that need to be made to the airport.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie. Anything else you want to add?
I guess I'll just talk about the budget a little
Yeah.
bit. We're still, all of these budgets you're looking at this month are preliminary, and we've got a preliminary airport one in here. I think we're still working on it some, and I think Derek's identified some revenues that we're going to have that probably aren't reflected here, so. We had a really good year last year, and we ended up county money just over 30,000, which I think is the best year in, if not ever,
Yeah.
a long time.
I'm anticipating this year to be, not this year, 2026, what we're budgeting for now, to be right in line with that. Save for any capital investments for terminal buildings or whatnot. We have some funds put away from that. Capital improvement, I don't know when we're gonna talk about that.
Not today.
Yeah, but there's definitely some capital improvement concerns, making sure that we're budgeting our match for whatever we're gonna do at the airport. And all bundled together, all of those discussion topics. I don't know where the money's gonna come from for some of those improvements that have been referenced, but oof, that's years down the road still.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie.
Yeah.
Number 11, Highway Department report. Our Highway Commissioner.
Thank you. Really quick, I'll run through my report. We did finish the scrub seal on 48 from Copley to Zettel Road. It's all been painted back open to traffic, went really well. That was a state project. We also been doing mastic work on the state. We did 27 South, and we also did some approaches on Big Bear Bridge and the Zornapple Bridge down on W. And then we also we patched up the Wanigan Bridge. That was a complete disaster. And we finished up County Road G today with the mastic. County B construction, as you all probably see, has started now. There was a misprint in my report. We're gonna be done at the end of September, so September 30th. It'll be open for traffic. There'll always be 2 lanes open during construction. Right now, they're doing spot curb head replacement. And then they'll come back and they'll mill out a couple inches of the blacktop and put all new blacktop out there. So yeah, it should go pretty well. We have completed all our state mowing. We're still ongoing in the county. We're on B right now. We've had a lot of issues with our tractor breakdown this year. Multiple issues. Luckily, we're almost done with our mowing. I did meet with the TGB, and that's these handouts I handed out to you really quick. I just want to go through it with you. So this is New Post intersection, and we have actually a pretty high ADT through there throughout the summertime. A lot of people going to the campgrounds and stuff. So I've been looking at this intersection for quite a while on something I could do. The first kind of drawing that has the dark black lines here. I'm proposing to paint that as stop bars and add a 3-way stop intersection there. Pretty cheap. I should say pretty cheap fix using the existing roadway without changing anything right now. It's just gonna be painting and some stop signs, to tell you the truth. The second proposal is, depending on where we end up with our SS4A grant, if this intersection identifies as a hazardous intersection, I could probably get some grant money to realign and build the road and make it a straight 3-way intersection. So I met with the TGB on this, brought this to their attention, because it's gonna affect the people living there, and they liked proposal 1, which is just painting the lines and adding the stop signs for the safety, because we've had quite a bit of accidents there this year. People running off the road. They also were willing to let me cut, as you can see where our right of way extends, remove a bunch of trees along here and here and here and here. You can see that, to open that up. So I guess I'm just looking for some input from this committee to see what they would like me to do, if they were okay with me installing, well, there's already a stop sign here, but it'd be adding a stop sign here and here. Pretty simple fix, so.
And the TBG said option 1 is what they care for.
For right now, and I think this would give us a good idea how this intersection is gonna work out before we go and try to go after money and spend money to try to align it to make it a true, make it nice.
So being the good committee of Sawyer County that we are, I'm sure that we want to work with LCO and probably maybe approve the same plan that they have.
I would agree with that.
Randy, or Mr. Newman?
I'll make a motion to approve that first plan that John laid out.
Okay,
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Evans, second by Mr. Newman to approve option 1 of the 3-way intersection. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Make sure Liz gets a copy of that. Thank you.
And then just moving on, County E update. So we have worked through change of plans on this project, because it was kind of going to be pushed out to 2029 and extra costs were going to be added. So as of last committee meeting, we reduced from Bayview to Williams Road to just a mill and fill, which currently we're at 66 parcels of right of way that we have to do sales studies on and purchase, part of the TLE for this project. I reduced that now by doing the mill and fill along the lake to probably drop off 12 parcels, which is going to reduce our cost of buying right away. We're still on track for construction in 2027. So far, DNR is on board, WisDOT's on board for their oversight, and we're going to reduce the cost of this road by quite a bit. Again, we're not going to get our 20-year road along the lake. We're going to probably get a 15, but it's low ADT, so I'm not concerned. It's still going to be full reconstruct from Bayview to B and Williams to Norris. So I think that's our best option, instead of either having to pay this money back and drop this project, or the lake impacts, which the DNR will not sign off on anyway. So we're still going to get a good road for our money. So I just want to bring you up to date on that. We do have some new some repairs on our new asphalt on County Road W North. We had an accident out there with a dump truck that I will be submitting an estimate to insurance for repairs. And then we started some town work. We finished, we did the hospital bridge road by the airport for the town of Hayward. We finished up town of Hunter work. We're going to be moving down to Meadowbrook, Radisson. We got some work, and the village of Exland yet. And then the Thornapple Grade Bridge is open, set, looks great, it's in use, so. A lot of phone calls from Russ County residents also thanking this committee, the county board, and also the town of Winter for their efforts. And then we did fill all our positions in the highway department here as of a week ago, and then as of Monday, my patrol soup is gonna be leaving us, so now we have a position posted for a patrol soup in our Hayward office. We were fully staffed for about a week. Tim's a really great guy and I'm sad he's leaving. Gonna be a hard position to fill. And then again, CC Bridge Precon is the 25th of this month. They're gonna start right after Labor Day. Bridge will be done by the end of October. That'll be open back up. And next Tuesday at 12:45, I'm taking a road tour with Senator Quinn and Representative Green. I'm gonna take them on some of our county road S's and G's, double G's. Give him a little ride and a little bounce and see if there's anything his team can do for Sawyer County. Right. So, and that completes my report. If you got any questions.
Your road tour, is there, what vehicle are you taking? Because perhaps some other board members might get to ride along.
I am taking my county truck. I would like to take a dump truck if I could get everybody in there, because that'd be a really good ride. So, I don't have a lot of time. They were able to block out a time. I got about 3 hours with them. So I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
do as most I can with them in those.
I'm glad that you were able to make that connection to get them, take them on.
And Stacy Hessel was a big help on that, because I reached out to her, which got Romaine, Quinn, and then he reached out to Green, and kind of just all fell together.
Good job. All right, preliminary department budget request.
All right, so for the highway department, what you're looking at is pretty normal increases for the year, minimal. We're still working on the revenue side a little bit. But I think the expense side, we've got pretty well dialed in. Again, this is preliminary. We'll keep working. Highway is one of the more complicated, probably the most complicated budget we work with. Just a lot of things entailed in that. And the way John is used to doing it through CAM is different from the way we do it in New World. And getting everything on the same page is a challenge, but I think we're dialing that in pretty well.
And I just
Anything to
wanna-
add?
Yeah, I just want to touch on it a little bit. So yes, we are having a little bit of trouble getting our revenues to our expenses where we're at. We don't know quite sure what we're gonna do yet here. I have identified some new funding opportunities through our LFAs, PBMs, DMAs through state that goes above and beyond our RMA contract through the state. I'm putting what I believe is true numbers in there to try to offset some of this and a smaller transfer. So obviously what I don't want to do is do a big transfer from the general fund at the end of the year like it's happened in the past. So we're trying to work through that, and possibly there could be a cut as we talked to the budget, but we're gonna work through it. Just to try, we want to get this thing on the same page, so. That's pretty much all I got. The only things we identified change really was winter maintenance, price of salt went up, and county general maintenance, wages. Pretty much wage and benefits, there was no really increase besides our normal. And if we get to CIP, which we're not talking about today, I mean, really 25,000 increase for equipment. I kept the construction budget at the same as last year, so.
And it's hard to keep it the same as last year because we aren't getting enough roads paved as it is.
We aren't, and now I'm switching gears right now. I've got a 6-year plan put together right now on roads. And now I went through and deleted a bunch of stuff in the past week and a half. Because I'm identifying roads where I think we need to start bringing some chip sealing into this county to get 4 or 5 more years out of our road life. And I'm identifying roads that we can chip seal to do that, because we can do chip seal from 26 to 30,000 a mile, depending on what oil we use. So I'm looking at roads right now that we could chip seal to extend the life. Now, that's not helping us move forward on the roads that are bad. It's just helping us maintain the roads that are good. So we're still got a shortfall on the bad roads. And overlays are not the answer. I know that's what we've been doing. I would love to pulverize, reconstruct, add gravel, re-ditch. It's just with that budget we have right now, I mean, I'm looking probably a couple miles a year. So, but I had also identifying roads with low ADTs that have been overlaid in the past that have held up for 15, 20 years, which is unheard of, so. It's a big plan.
You do a nice job.
Doing a great job. Yeah.
Strategic planning.
Yeah, and again, I'm just looking for committee members to write down what you feel are the areas to focus on. Kind of an unfiltered look to start us off here.
I was gonna mention on the budget, you know, there's items that we can't control, like how many snowstorms we get and what kind of weather we get, but I think the highway department does a very nice job with that because we still want to keep the roads safe as possible.
Mhm.
All right. Letter B, Town of Winter, thank you letter. Has anybody had a chance to see that? I hope everybody got it because it was sent out so everybody could. Letter C, ATV, UTV route discussion. It was asked to put this on the agenda because it was brought to my attention by a board member, and I thank him for that, is there's some other businesses that I didn't realize weren't being served because they'd have to cross reservation to get there. So we have it on the agenda for discussion. Our administrator is trying to communicate with the tribe and see if we can work something out with them prior to bringing it back here next month to take action on it. Hopefully.
Correct, yeah.
Anything you want to add on that?
I will be out there Tuesday for a different reason. I'm hoping to bring it up and get the ball rolling on that, at least open lines of communication.
There is a new tribal board out there in case someone doesn't know that. And we're hoping that they're open compared to the last board. Okay. Anything you folks want to add?
You guys good right now? Pardon me, you guys good right now for this month? Yes.
Okay. Letter D, Snowville Crossing.
Okay, so, from what I've heard in the past and everything, this used to be an active snowmobile trail. I believe in that it was moved down to Chippewa Trail at one time. So I know that the Alliance and stuff is working on moving the snowmobile trail from Chippewa Trail crossing down on B, where the old ATV trail used to go through past Big Fish and all that. This is just past the gun range. It's part of our controlled access area from Chippewa Trail to Round Lake School Road, so that would need a motion to go to full county board for approval. I looked at it, the existing trail is still there. I have no issues, the site visibility, actually it's in a better spot up there crossing than where it currently is now. With down the hill and the other 4 lanes of traffic coming in, or the 2 other side roads, so I guess it's up to you guys, but I have no concerns. There's ample visibility. Like I said, I think as a safety standpoint, putting it back up there is safer than where it currently is.
We did also this morning that forestry, asked me to push it forward too, so Greg was all in favor of it too, because he gets a lot of phone calls and complaints from the property owners along Chippewa Trail about people in and out of their ditches up in their properties and stuff like that, so it was unanimous, we did theirs.
Thank you for sharing that. I'll take that as a motion to approve this.
I'll move till we make the motion to approve this and move it on to county board next Thursday.
Second,
So a motion by Mr. Newman, second by Mr. Evans to approve the Snowville Crossing area. Any discussion? Hearing that, all in favor of the motion? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 12, board appointment committee updates. Anybody have any other meetings that they would want to share with the committee at this time?
My one was canceled, so I don't have.
Okay. Number 13, correspondence reports, conferences. Condolences out to Mr. Van Etten for his loss of his stepson. Hope things go well as you go through the processes of that. We'll be thinking of you. Future agenda items, anybody have anything they would care to share on future agenda items? Again, the ATV, UTVs are going to be on the agenda. And I'm sure we'll have more stuff from the highway and the airport also. And perhaps by then we might have a maintenance administrator to replace Mr. Egbert, hopefully. Other than that, you got anything else?
I'm good.
Thank you for your valuable time. Meeting adjourned.